Flexbox is a powerful layout tool in CSS that makes it easier to create flexible and responsive layouts for web pages. In this tutorial, I'll give you a full description of what Flexbox is, how it works, and how you can use it to create amazing layouts for your web pages. Flexbox is a layout mode in CSS that allows you to create flexible and responsive layouts for your web pages. It allows you to control the placement, alignment, and size of elements within a container using a flexible grid system. Flexbox is designed to make it easier to build complex layouts that adapt to different screen sizes and devices, without the need for complicated and hard-to-maintain CSS code. Flexbox works by defining a flexible container element, which contains a set of child elements that can be arranged in any number of ways. The container element is defined using the display flex property, which turns it into a flex container. Once you've defined the container element, you can use a range of properties to control the layout and positioning of the child elements. The most important properties in Flexbox are justify content, align items, flex direction, flex wrap, flex grow, flex basis, flex. Let me explain each of the most important properties in Flexbox in more detail. Justify content. This property controls the horizontal alignment of the child elements within the container. It allows you to specify how the extra space in the container should be distributed between the child elements. There are several values you can use with this property, including flex start. This value aligns the child elements to the left edge of the container. Flex end. This value aligns the child elements to the right edge of the container. Center. This value centers the child elements horizontally within the container. Space between. This value evenly spaces the child elements along the main axis of the container, with the first element aligned to the left edge and the last element aligned to the right edge. Space around. This value evenly spaces the child elements along the main axis of the container, with equal space before the first element and after the last element. Align items. This property controls the vertical alignment of the child elements within the container. It allows you to specify how the child elements should be aligned along the cross-axis of the container. There are several values you can use with this property, including flex start. This value aligns the child elements to the top edge of the container. Flex end. This value aligns the child elements to the bottom edge of the container. Center. This value centers the child elements vertically within the container. Baseline. This value aligns the child elements such that their baselines are aligned with each other. Stretch. This value stretches the child elements to fill the height of the container. Flex direction. This property controls the direction in which the child elements are arranged within the container. It allows you to specify whether the elements should be arranged in a row or a column, and whether they should be reversed. Row. This value arranges the child elements in a horizontal row, the default value. Row reverse. This value arranges the child elements in a horizontal row, but in reverse order. Column. This value arranges the child elements in a vertical column. Column reverse. This value arranges the child elements in a vertical column, but in reverse order. Flex wrap. this property controls whether the child elements should wrap to the next line if they don't fit within the container. It allows you to create multi-line layouts with ease. There are 3 values you can use with this property, including wrap. This value specifies that the child elements should wrap to the next line if necessary. Now wrap. This value specifies that the child elements should not wrap to the next line, the default value. Flex grow. This property allows you to specify how much the child elements should grow to fill the available space within the container. It takes a unitless value, which represents the proportion of available space that should be taken up by the element. For example, if one element has a flex grow value of 2, and another element has a flex grow value of 1, the first element will take up twice as much space as the second element. Flex basis. This property specifies the initial size of the child elements before any growth or shrinkage occurs. It takes a length value, such as 100px or 50%. Flex. This shorthand property combines the flex grow, flex shrink, and flex basis properties into a single declaration. It takes 3 values, in the order of flex grow, flex shrink, and flex basis. To center a div element within a Flexbox container, you can use the justify content and align items properties on the container. That's all for today's video, but I'll be back soon with more. In the meantime, feel free to check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.